Shit. You got
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 2 of the Hammers Lounge.
Look, I'll get used to it. All right. I got to remember the whole cadence.
One of these days, you won't talk through the intro. All right.
One of these days.
Hey, we're your presenters. My name's Kyle Tyson. You can find me on Twitter at The Kai Tai Show. Joined by my brother, Kurt Ham. You can find him on Twitter at Hammer MMA. Kurt, how you doing, dude?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's been fun so far.
It's been fun so far.
Honestly, man, I'm ready to talk about this last weekend's card.
Yeah, we'll get to it, man. We'll get to it.
No rush.
Yeah. So this is essentially it's supposed to be more of a general podcast, but right now we're talking a lot of MMA stuff these last couple weeks. It's called Hammers Lounge. All right, myself and Kurt, we just honestly just talk shit, talk MMA, get drunk, tell dick jokes. It's a lot of fun. You can watch it live Tuesday nights on twitch.tv/The Kai Tai Show. You mind not talking through my fucking plugs? All right.
Come on, man. I'm like your hype man. I'm your hype man. And he told you every time you finish something. Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Jesus
cool, man.
Christ.
Trying to hype you up.
It's
a fun time.
Fucking. You don't have that cat anywhere near you, do you?
My cat?
Yeah.
I do not think so.
I'm not trying to get punked out on air again by a fucking cat. All right, that's all I'm saying.
I mean, dude, he is very welcome. I mean, my cat is the shit. Don't talk about my cat. That's full main coon. Full main coon. Right.
So
already,
Kurt, is all your Christmas shopping done?
No,
you fucking loser.
I wasn't really expecting that question, so there's the honest answer. I mean, not yet.
I just finished mine up today. Yeah, I just finished mine up.
I hear you, man.
Yep.
I really hate just people in general.
Yeah.
Like, I try to Christmas shop, but it's like for some reason, even in like convenience stores, it's like, why are you in a convenience? Why is there 30 people in a convenience store? You know
what gets me? The whole fucking social distancing. So, like, say, like at a place like Walmart, right? They cut down. Well, hold on. They cut down on the self checkout to cut down on social distancing, but all that does is bottleneck people into a fucking long ass condensed line waiting to get into the self checkout.
Yeah.
And they stand there like dick to ass for fucking 30 minutes. And
I mean, since you bring that up, in Hannaford, here in Maine, it's like, I've literally been all the way back to the meat section. I mean, in the line that goes the entire store, and no one gives a shit, dude. I mean, everyone's wearing their mask, but no one's like, I mean, I've been standing off, so like I feel the guy's heat next to me. Like I look over and I'm like, look, like I'm not gonna be that guy, but it's like, so nah, man, people don't give a shit. The whole social distancing and all that, it might as well be a hashtag that'll be gone in 3 months.
We'll see. Whatever. We'll see, man. No,
that's the thing. Like people,
it depends where you go. It depends where you go. Some places are respecting it. Some other places, like shopping centers, like the liquor stores down south here. God, no, man. People take it as a challenge. They're like coughing in each other's mouths and shit. Well, there's no virus. Like, just, like spitting on each other.
No, they really. I mean, here in Maine, it's like because we don't have a lot of cases. I don't know how all of a sudden we're talking about Corona and shit.
I was trying to talk Christmas shopping, but
and then it turned into Corona.
Into COVID.
I mean, why not?
Yeah. Well, anyways,
no, I mean, here in Maine, there's not a lot of cases, so everyone's like, "Oh, it doesn't exist." Basically.
You have any New Year's resolutions? New year, new me.
Not really ones that I could put on air.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
I got an easy one and a hard one. So my hard one is the stereotypical lose weight, better health, better shape. I've been working on my teeth lately, going to the dentist, make sure I keep those bad boys. Trying to watch what I eat, but that's the hard one. I also have an easy one, and that's just double my goatee length. That's all. I don't have to do anything to do that. That's just don't cut it.
No, get yourself some beard oil, man.
Beard oil?
I know you've seen those ads on Facebook. I mean, you think the word beard, like anything on Facebook, and it's gonna shove advertisements in your face.
Yeah.
I just got a message. Hold on. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, try, man. It really, I tried it before, and it helps out a little bit, but in that, and just don't cut.
Yeah.
It looks good, though. It looks good. I remember growing up, you never really had a beard.
Oh no, I didn't. It wasn't until all this shit went. It left here and just went down south, bro. That's all it did.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It reminds that'll always remind me of our cousin Ryan. Our late cousin Ryan. I remember he was young. He was like 20, 21 or something. He lost all his hair, and it's like all of it just went right to his face.
Dude looked like he was pushing 40 by like 24.
I mean, this guy's beard was just massive all of a sudden. It's like, hey, it works for him.
Yeah.
I remember I always called him Captain Spaulding.
Captain Spaulding. No, exactly. I'm the one who pointed that shit out to him. I was like, bro, this is your Halloween costume going forward every fucking year. Anyways, dude, we just had UFC, right? UFC Fight Night, man. Thompson versus Neal. Last fight night last UFC event of the year. Was it a good? I saw the main card. I didn't get a chance to watch the prelims or anything. Was it a good show to close out the year?
It really was. They had a lot of good talent even on the prelims. I mean, main carding the prelims was Anthony Pettis, and
I saw that shit. He won by knockout, right?
No. That was his fight before. He actually won. He won a very impressive decision, and that's being Anthony Pettis and being in his later years. I mean, it was super impressive by him. He was caught. I want to talk about Darren Wynn earlier before, but Anthony Pettis, he was caught early. It didn't look good. And then all of a sudden, he just bit down his mouthpiece and just started going, man. And seeing an older, seeing this guy back in WEC, they were showing his highlights from 10 plus years ago. So seeing him perform the way he did, in that spot, it was good to see.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the graphics. You know what gets me is one of the things that I learned early on as an MMA fan is, unfortunately, the smaller fighters have the shortest lifespan as far as their pro careers go, because a lot of shorter fighters rely on speed and timing. Unfortunately, that's the first thing to go as an aging fighter, is your speed and timing. And then so if you don't have like high class technique and durability, smaller fighters, man, they get chewed up and spit out like nothing else. So the fact that you can see on this card Anthony Pettis getting a win, Jose Aldo, anybody else would have been out of the game like 5 years ago. No, we can talk generally, but I'm just saying.
I was just saying, like, I'm very hyped to talk about Jose Aldo.
Yeah, like I said, these guys, like Jose, if anybody else would have been out of the game 5 years ago, like when Conor clipped Jose, that could have been a wrap for him, or when he lost to Max Holloway twice, that could have been it, man.
Yeah.
But the fact that this dude is still staying relevant in the feather or bantamweight division, just speaks to this dude's legend, man. Honestly.
Yeah.
And along with Anthony Pettis, fucking Wheaties. Hello, first MMA fighter on fucking Wheaties. Remember that shit?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's a huge accomplishment that people kind of glance over. You know what I mean? The casual MMA fan, they see the whole Wheaties box. You're right, but that's actually, especially for MMA as a sport itself, that was a huge accomplishment. But seeing Anthony Pettis, you see a lot of these smaller fighters, they start dropping down in their weight. And Jose Aldo did the same thing. They dropped a weight class, and really, I see him doing better. It's because, just like you were saying on earlier, smaller fighters, their speed are the first thing to go.
Yeah.
So you see him drop weight a little bit. He doesn't have to, because let's be honest, lightweight, welterweight, people cut so much weight nowadays. You got people like James Vick and Nico Price fighting in the lightweight and welterweight division. You guys like 6'1", 6'2".
Yeah, fucking as big as me.
Like 5'8", 5'9". You know what I mean? You got to drop that weight class. Just the game is evolving. So seeing, he is doing good. He's getting older. Just like, that was the case on this entire card. Anthony Pettis, Jose Aldo, Stephen Thompson. They're older fighters. But
Stephen Thompson is like 37 but looks 18.
Yeah, I
The
know.
the only like white person to not age.
Seriously. Seriously. I
He's
mean,
got that
I've looked
Keanu
at him,
genes, man.
37 years old, and he hasn't lost a step. I
Yeah.
mean, every time Neil tried to pressure him, it's like trying to corner a cat. I mean, he just pop, 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 and got out of there.
Yeah,
You know what I
look at
mean?
this dude. Look at this dude I got right here on screen. Coming
That's
up.
37 years old.
Here we go. Let me see.
And seeing Stephen Thompson, man, just you got to appreciate a talent like his. I mean, he's probably the best fighter that hasn't.
Well,
He never got a belt. He never got a belt. Yeah, he's probably one of the best fighters I've seen to not have
one
a
of
belt.
those. Yeah, you can create a whole list out of like incredible fighters to never get a title, but
But I mean,
no,
Stephen
Thompson. What makes him amazing is that you don't get too many guys that do that are strictly karate style. They don't utilize much other disciplines and find the level of success that he's finding. I mean, the first name obviously that jumps to mind is Lyoto Machida, but even then, people grew to it. His weight class outgrew him, and his style eventually faded. Like it couldn't hold up no more. So here's Stephen Thompson, somebody else with a very similar style, smaller weight class, but still, I mean, if you watched his fight against is it Jeff?
Who are you talking about?
His opponent from Fight Night. Neil.
I'm sorry. Oh, Neil. Yeah, exactly.
If you watch his fight against Neil, his karate style, he never went away from it, and he won a decision pretty much with ease. The only real damage he took was an incidental headbutt.
Exactly. Yeah, that headbutt, it did kind of worry me a little bit because it cut both the fighters immediately. That was the thing. And Neil actually said that he couldn't really see out of his left eye since that happened. But I mean,
hey,
yeah,
I don't want this to be weird, but I'm gonna need like 45 seconds if you want to talk about a fight. My son's TV got cut off. I'm just gonna go turn it back on so he can play Kirby.
Sure, man.
All right.
I know a fight I can talk about.
All right, I'll be right back.
I got you. All right. So I guess it's just me, guys. So really, I mean, this is MMA podcast. You know what? I'm going to talk about MMA. Last week, if you guys were here, I was talking about a guy named Darren Wynn. He was a prodigy of Daniel Cormier. I mean, in Daniel Cormier, he's a small fighter for his weight class already. So this guy, Darren Wynn, he was clocked in, I think, 5'5", 5'6" at best. And this guy, I think he was a light heavyweight. And this was a catch weight. He has trouble with his weight, but he's 5'5", 5'6", a light heavyweight, and I think he's a middleweight. I'm sorry, but the fact is, he fought this guy Antonio Ario. I may be messing his name up, but the fact is, this guy's 6'3", big guy, and Darren Wynn the whole time, obviously you're striking unless you're Mike Tyson. You're not going to get in on this guy. You know what I mean? So the whole time, but he's remember he's Daniel Cormier prodigy. If you know Daniel Cormier, this guy's a wrestler through and through. He basically uses his striking to set up the takedowns. Bam, lands them, and that's what Darren Wynn did all night. I mean, what makes this special is I don't know if you guys have ever seen basically a featherweight fight a light heavyweight. A featherweight height, rather. But this guy's 5'5", 5'6".
What happened to my lighting? Jesus. Sorry.
The lighting is...
There we go.
There. All right, you're back. You're back shorter than I thought. I was going off about Darren Wynn.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, Daniel Cormier's prodigy.
Darren Wynn being like 5'5", 5'6", fighting a guy that's 6'3", and getting past that striking to get the takedowns and dominate a 3-round decision. I mean, that's impressive, man.
Yeah, I didn't watch. I heard one fight was incredibly boring. That wasn't his fight, was it? Or was it?
No. I mean, you could, as like the casual MMA fan, you could say it was boring, but to see the size differential and reach differential in the fight, I mean, if you're a fan of fighting, you got to be impressed with this guy.
Well, so I was just wondering because There's one guy I follow on Twitter, and I think everybody should follow him, and also check out his YouTube channel. Is Tommy Tohold. He's also on the YouTube channel Inside MMA. He's got a Twitter handle. He's hilarious on social media.
MMA, huh? I used to watch that all the time.
Yeah, Tommy Tohold. He'll even get guest spots on some UFC events. But yeah, he was commenting on a match on Twitter, and I didn't see what fight it was, but there was one where they were I can't remember how he worded it. He's like, believe it or not, that fight was only 15 minutes or something. And then everybody in the chat was like, yeah, it felt like 2 hours. And so like, I guess insinuating the fight was boring, but I don't know if he's referring to the fight you were talking about.
It is possible because Darren Wynn, I mean, he's not going to, like I said, he's not going to sit there and Mike Tyson the guy.
Oh, really quick. Tony Johnson is in the chat. Hey, Tony. Tony's mine and Kurt's cousin. She actually lives down in North Carolina with me. Well, not with me. Not with me, but, you know.
Close to you.
Close. Like a couple, you know, a little bit away. Yeah. Sorry. Shout out to my cousin.
Shout out.
Yeah.
But look, so Darren Wynn, he got the grueling decision. I mean, that's awesome. But really, there's a guy that me and you have never heard of. Oh, Jimmy Flick. He sounds like he's something out of a gangster game or something. You know, Jimmy Flick. Jimmy Flick. I've never heard of him before, but I'm watching him. A flying triangle in the first round. I mean, when is the last time you have seen ever a flying triangle?
Let me see if I can pull up a GIF. Go ahead and talk about it. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna hear Jamie and try to find this shit.
It was textbook. You know, the guys are coming out too. You know, I've never really heard of them. You know, Cody.
Jimmy Flick. This dude got some ears, man.
Jimmy Flick. I don't know why I like the name, but they're coming out. You know, and they basically, you know, do the old thing. They clinch up. And Jimmy Flick just perfectly. Cody puts pressure on him, and he just throws that left leg over the right shoulder. And I mean, it was a textbook flying triangle. And you see some fighters try to do that, and then, you know, it slips out. The other guy ends up in a, you know, side control, whatever. Yeah. He immediately just locks it in. And I'm sitting there like, you know, it's the prelims, and it's just, it was awesome. I got to talk about it, man.
Okay, so here it is. I got, I have, oh shit! I've got UFC's Twitter. I don't think we can be demonetized for showing a tweet, right?
I don't know.
We're not even monetized. What the hell am I talking about?
I mean, I don't know much about that. I'm just sitting, you know, on camera talking shit.
Okay, so here it is. You watch it. You
see, it's weird because the blood chokes, they're different. They're way different than an air choke. An air choke will make people tap well before they go out.
Yeah, you can't breathe. You panic.
Chokes, exactly. But those blood chokes, man, it's just like, you know, you don't even realize it, and then you go out. But you know, some fighters, you know, all fighters.
Probably the first person to make it.
Blood chokes, man. There's something else.
Yeah, probably the first person to make it known about blood chokes was Jeremy Horn, putting Chuck Liddell to sleep because Chuck didn't know he was in any danger because he laid there, he could breathe. And then so Chuck's laying there like, what the hell is this guy doing? And then just goes to sleep. Had no idea he was in danger.
Even John McCarthy, even everyone around, they didn't even really know. That is actually, I haven't thought about that in years. I love that you brought that up.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up a GIF of it.
Probably the most experienced and just journeyman fighters that had.
Dude has over 100 professional fights, man.
Underappreciated journeyman. I mean, this guy, and he even never held the title. But man, this guy was I'd like to call him the godfather of MMA. You know what I mean?
He's up there, man.
Over 100 professional fights.
Let's see. Is this it? No, you go ahead. You can go and keep talking. I'm trying to find if I can find like a GIF of it or something. I'm trying to avoid like actual footage unless it's like an image format or the UFC uses it themselves.
But no, he did. It wasn't like he took Liddell down and then instantly got it in and sunk it in. They knew it was over. It was one or more of those, like he had Chuck controlled for a while. He just got that position, and it was looked more of like a wrestling. It was in Chuck's side control. No, it's an older fight. It's been a while since I've seen it, so I'm not surprised that he got it mixed up. But I'm looking at it now. Yeah,
you're catching the delayed version, but yeah, that's it. May Gemini 67. Aunt Lori is in the chat. Man, a lot of family popping up tonight.
Yeah.
Hey, on Lori. We've had our mom, Tony, now Aunt Lori pop up in the chat. Awesome, man.
Fun. It's fun. It's awesome.
Yeah.
No, that's just to say though, like how far the game has come though.
Yeah, and Jimmy Flick now throwing flying triangles. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine. You're fine. We're shooting shit, man. Because you see a fighter put in that position. I mean, somebody, especially in Rio, you see a Brazilian fighter even hint at that arm triangle, the crowd starts losing it. You know what I mean? So that's just back then. You see, nobody even knows what's going on. You fast forward till even like about 10, 5 years ago, everyone's losing their mind. So this sport, it evolves so fast, and seeing it evolve. I mean, we started watching it when I was like, what? I was like 12. You were what?
I was like 15, 16.
Yeah.
So
seeing it from then to now, man, like it took over. The UFC just bought its island. It has its own island.
Fucking island, dude.
Does the NFL have an island? No, the fuck it does.
The world. What do you do when you want to put on a promotion and the world is shut down and nobody will host you? Buy a fucking island in Abu Dhabi.
I mean, seeing it now, man. I mean, with the whole like no crowd thing, it was a little weird, but like the UFC took over. It's crazy to literally grow up and see just this. I mean, look at UFC 1. That was some like, black market shit. You walked into a door in the back of an alley. And they're like, hey, yeah, $20. All right, here you go. Let's watch these dudes just beat the shit out of each other. Fast forward 20 years, 25 years. And it's like, this is a national sport. I mean, an international sport. It's amazing.
Tony in the chat. Excuse me. Tony in the chat says that she wants to know what we think of the possible Paul, what's his face?
Oh my God.
What's his name? Something Paul. YouTube star. Jake Paul taking on Conor McGregor.
Just like last week when I was talking about Greg Hardy. I mean, this guy, he may not have a domestic violence charged against him, but fuck this guy. The guy is just the worst. Like, and the thing is, like, he's going for the money fight. Is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, of course.
You know what I mean? And it's like,
wouldn't you?
What I said before. I mean,
dude, I'll call out Conor McGregor. Conor, I'll fight you.
I've been throwing fucking water balloons at Conor McGregor's wife too. I mean, bro, if that's what it gets for you to fight me and make me like $100 million, I'll throw water balloons at people for $100 million. Fuck that. But no, because that's what he did, dude. He's like messing with the McGregor. He's doing, but the thing is, I hate the guy. I mean, the guy literally, he's a piece of shit. He's trying to. I get it.
He's one of the. I mean, he owned it though on his like boxing match.
I mean, he clocked the guy, but the guy was a basketball player.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying, but he acknowledged that he is one of the most hated people, like at least on the Western audience. Like,
and that you said one of the most hated people.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, nowadays. It's not because we grew up,
Tyson versus McGregor. That's nice.
I grew up watching like boxing and MMA, just like I grew up watching NFL as a competitive sport.
For those who are watching the video, this is Fight Island, by the way. Dana White bought this shit to host fights since we couldn't get any place in America. But yeah, going back to the Pauls.
It's all about the money fight nowadays, man. It's the whole thing with social media, it's with Instagram and all that bullshit. If you can get enough people just fucking looking at you, we either love you or we hate you. It's infected itself in sports, man. And I mean, I'm not a fan of it. I mean, yeah, I watch sports because of the competitive nature. I love, the true talent versus talent. But this whole like CM Punk, all of a sudden he's in the UFC and he's fighting people. There's a reason why he looks like garbage. It's because he's not a fighter. And the whole thing, whatever, the Paul guy or whatever, he's from YouTube. And now he's calling out like, okay, you fought a guy that's never stepped in a ring in his life and you knocked him out. Okay, cool, man. I've done that in backyards myself. But when you start calling out actual fighters like Floyd Mayweather, get the fuck out of here. That's a joke. That's just so as you can tell, I'm not a fan of the money fights.
I'm not either.
I'm not saying you are. I'm just
Excuse
saying
me.
my perspective from it. He hasn't earned the limelight that other fighters have earned before. You know what I mean? Other fighters deserve to be in that limelight where they.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at the chat. So Matt Ritter in here. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off with that shit.
I mean, go
Matt
ahead,
Ritter
listen.
said talking about Fight Island. Didn't WWE make a movie like that where they strap bombs to like people's ankles and Katie was talking about, are you talking about The Condemned, which is a movie starring Stone Cold?
Wasn't that Stone Cold?
Yeah. Everyone fights. It's PUBG before PUBG. I haven't thought of that movie in years.
I remember seeing the preview. It looked alright, but I never got around to watching it. But I remember though, Stone Cold was the face.
Yeah, back to these money fights. Honestly, they're the death of boxing. Look at it. Look, this is what I was telling people. I don't know. Was it you? I don't think I was you. I was talking to, because I know you actually are somewhat of a moderate, if not a little bit heavier of a fan of boxing. More than myself. I know that, but it's like this. You right now, people can name more YouTube stars and old boxing fighters than current champions.
See, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, even as like a moderate fan of boxing, as you said, it's. I mean,
you hear of the Logan Paul, the Jake Paul boxing matches, Mike Tyson, and
that's what's killing it. I mean, Tyson and Jones. That was a fun fight to watch. That may not have been
for that to outdraw. That's outdrawing. How many current championship fights do you think you can combine the pay-per-view buys it takes to equal what Tyson and Jones just did? Yeah. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And that's the thing. You have your top fighter. You have Canelo fight. You have oh my God, I can't. The Russian guy's name, Tommy, actually would help me out with this because me and Tommy were talking about this before. But you have your top division fighters fighting, and you have these YouTube fighters and Mike Tyson and Roy Jones coming out of 15, 20 years of retirement. Not Roy Jones, because
Roy Jones was like 3 years. Yeah. Tyson, you're talking like 15 years.
Let's be honest. You have these older, like nostalgic fights just blowing the waters out of current top tier fighters. And boxing, it killed itself, man. It was the promoters. It wasn't the talent. Because you've seen MMA talent, PFL, Pro Fighting League, you've seen it time after time, World Series of Fighting, Strike Force, Bellator. You see these under organizations put together this talent, but give them the right recognition for the talent that they are. Boxing promoters, let's be honest, man, it's obviously corrupt. Yeah. Boxing has been corrupt for fucking over 20, 30 years now, and that's ultimately killed the sport. In my opinion.
No, I'm right there with you. And also, like UFC is the premier MMA league. WWE is the premier pro wrestling league. What's the premier boxing league?
Oh man, it's premium. No, it's not even that. I was gonna say premium boxing league, but it's not even that. The thing is, there's so many that they spread themselves too thin. They try to have it's like if MMA had tried to have like I don't know, man.
Because you have like UFC is A. You would consider Bellator to be B, and then there's arguments for C, like IFL.
Exactly. We have
or PFL. Excuse me.
Over in Japan, ONE FC is. Wait, is it one?
Yeah, one.
Or is it? Yeah. Killing.
And then you got Ryzen. Ryzen's not as big as ONE, but
man, I haven't heard of Ryzen in a while.
Well, Rambo says Pride would be C. Rambo, that hurts. Pride was bought out. Pride was A. UFC overtook him and bought him out. We'll save that for another. We'll save some of that stuff because we have a month without UFC events. We'll save some Pride talk for like next week.
It's a couple.
Yeah.
We'll talk. Actually, that's actually a good one for next week. The rise and fall of Pride, because Pride was the shit, and Pride will never die. I still watch because I'm a subscriber of UFC Fight Pass, and you can see I don't know how many times I've watched Mirko kick people in the face. I love it. It never gets old.
Oh man, yeah, Mirko Cro Cup. That's what got me into MMA. Was
Yeah,
Mirko.
seriously.
Yeah, I remember his first fight in the UFC when he took on Gonzaga, and I went around to all my friends, was hopping on YouTube, check out this highlight reel, check out this dude's coming to UFC. Everyone's hopping on the train, like, yeah, man. And then me and Zach Messer, it's just me and him at his place. And we watched that fight. We watched Cro Cop get kicked in the head, and it took the air out of the room. Me and him were just like, we didn't know what to do with ourselves. We were like, this ruins our night, man. Like, we couldn't even enjoy each other. Like, we couldn't even enjoy like playing PlayStation afterwards or anything. Like,
no, I get it.
dude,
I get it.
That was just
some of these. It kind of brings me to another point where I was going to talk about some of these fights that I watched. You will never forget where you were, just because you're a fan of the fights. But it's just when because it was the first time I had seen Cro Cop fight live. I had seen his highlights for a while. His fight, he actually fought a guy named Eddie Sanchez on, I think it was 66, UFC 66, and that was his debut. I didn't even see that one. But you had actually got me into UFC before that in my first pay-per-view, whatever it was, UFC, I think it was 67. I may be a little off, but it was seeing Cro Cop fight for the first time live. And Randy Couture, he was a guest thing. He was the heavyweight champion. They were saying, when Cro Cop finishes this fight and beats him, he's going to fight him. I mean, they were hyping him up, and I'm just, I'm sitting there, just loving the fight, and then bam, you said it perfectly. It just took the air out of the room. I was the only one in the room. I was 14 years old. I was like, yeah,
man. So really quick, I got to ask you, and then we'll get back to the fight night, okay? Because we've taken this course from Jimmy Flick, and we've gotten some good stuff out of it.
Mr. Flying Triangle, the last guy. Man, I haven't talked. Okay.
But so my last offshoot question, we'll round it back to UFC, and then we can go back on our little side trail conversations that you and I have. Okay. So first thing,
see, you gotta keep me on track, man.
So first thing is
get off track.
No, I'm right there with you, man. I'm right there with you, but we gotta,
Mr. Cro Cop, though. He always be
one to Cro Cop, right?
One to Cro Cop.
To Cro Cop.
To Cro Cop.
Oh man,
getting back on track.
I love that shit. No. Last question. In yes or no, we don't have to make too big of a thing of it. Something that I want. I know rematches of legendary fights often do not outdo the first fight. This fight, I think, would have a lot of potential to rival the first. Maybe not beat it, but still provide something very entertaining. And that is the rematch of Diego Sanchez and Clay Guida.
Oh my God!
Both guys retire after the fight.
Okay, all right, no.
And if you guys want to know why this is historic, I'm going to show you the opening 20 seconds.
The opening is legendary. The opening is legendary. If you haven't seen it, please enjoy it. I mean, it's just what I was saying before. I'll never forget where I was when I watched that fight. I remember Josh Rosenthal just, you ready? Really? Let's go to war. And then, these guys just like two alley cats. They just started throwing. And I don't care.
Before the fight even started, these guys had the most intense stare. They couldn't take eyes off of each other. Like usually in MMA, even though it is a very tight blood sport, like to the average viewer, it really might just seem like a very violent sport. But there is a lot of sportsmanship and camaraderie between fighters, and so there's a lot of
not always
fist bump. Not always, but a lot of the times they go in as professionals. These guys went in as savages, like pure savages. So this video made it to YouTube, so I imagine UFC is okay with us sharing it. But I'm not even going to do the audio. You just need to watch just the opening portion of this. Just the opening.
You just think that the crowd was losing their mind. This was a very anticipated fight night.
This is very dramatic cut of it. But these guys.
The ref even hyped it up too. You ready? And then he literally just screamed, "Let's go to war!" And these guys did exactly that right in the middle of the ring.
Right out the gate. Oh, see, this is too dramatic of a cut. Like what? Yeah. Okay. So
See,
you see it, man. You see it. They just leather is
I mean, they just
flying.
started going. They just started
Yeah.
going. No, just reckless abandonment. No concern for their own health or consciousness. But they just started throwing. You see Guida, he starts getting hit with those uppercuts, and it was surprising. And the thing, Guida's never really had the best striking, so
No.
Guida just kind of closed his eyes and started punching. Let's be
And
honest.
then he takes
Yeah,
Sanchez down.
few
My favorite
uppercuts.
part was right there. Oh, Guida getting his head kicked off. Anybody else would be snoring. And
I
Guida
was
bounced up
I was
like a
waiting for the
rubber
head.
ball, dude.
I was waiting for the head kick. Me and the late Kyle Jarrett, we talked about this fight a lot, and I remember when me and him were talking about that head kick because Mr. Kyle Jarrett, his favorite fighter was Clay Guida,
Yeah.
and he always considered himself that man. And I remember seeing that head kick and then just talking to him about it. He was like, "I would have ate it," and I was like, "You know what, Kyle? Yeah, you probably
Out of everybody,
out of
Kyle
everybody."
probably could. Yeah.
He kicked him square in the face. I
The
mean, no like
face,
no
shin
no
to
no like
face.
turning his
Dude.
head kind of away from it. No, square in the face, and
For-
he popped up like
for one,
nothing.
for people that don't understand the devastation of getting kicked like shin, it's often compared to a baseball bat because
I'm
of the
not
weight
sure
of
a lot
someone's
people-
leg, and you know how hard the shin bone is. There's no meat from the shin, so when shin connects, the
It's
closest
just
thing to
awful.
compare it to is getting hit with like a steel rod or a baseball bat. And Clay Guida here ate it to the face, not the
Ate
side
it
of the
and
head,
popped-
to the
and
fucking
popped right
face,
back up.
man.
and he's still fighting.
No, man, these guys went.
Still
They
fighting,
went to
and-
war. The whole, you know, this is before. This was only a 3-round fight, man. Oh
Man,
my god.
see, I already think that Guida won that fight. I may have to go back and look at it again.
Oh, I'm gonna go back and watch it. Yeah, I'm
but I
definitely
think
gonna go
Guida
watch
won
that.
that fight. But when you say a rematch between legends, that's honestly the one that would make not the most sense, but it'd be the most fun to watch.
I think so.
Diego Sanchez, man, it's a sad story because he has always been a savage, 1,000% his entire career.
Rambo.
And his past like 3 or 4 fights. It's funny you say that. He actually parted from Jackson, Jackson or Winklejohn or Jackson, whatever, down there in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
I don't know why any fighter would ever leave that camp.
No, I
literally
mean,
the greatest camp known to man.
we could put 20
he's
minutes
with this
down
one-
on Sanchez and his weird coaching.
Well, do you see that he has a new coach now? It's
His
like one coach.
Everybody's got a
He
knife.
literally-
He's got a
right
knife.
now
He's got
he
a
has
knife.
one
Pretend
guy
each other,
coming
like pretend everyone has knives. Like it's such
Yeah, like dude,
a fucking psychopath of a coach,
the
man.
coach is up there with like, I don't know. He probably thinks the Earth is flat, some bullshit like that. He's a weird guy.
Yo, he probably thinks the Earth is like a fucking like a soup bowl. Like,
It's just
like beyond
he's
fucking flat,
like
dude.
a
This
weird
dude's
like
fucking
spiritual
loony.
coach, man. And Diego, he hasn't looked like Diego at all in his past like
He
3 or
took
4
a fucking
fights.
DQ win, man. It was a weird one. I mean, granted,
No,
you getting your
I know-
ass beat.
I
You remember the
I
money.
forgot about that. And that is literally the most non-Diego Sanchez thing I think I've ever seen, and it was him that did it.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
that's
a weird
just-
one.
Um,
Really quick,
yeah,
Rambo
match.
in the
I
chat.
want to see. I want because Guida, he's still going, man. The guy is he's still revving.
His chin is given a little bit, but that's where I think him and Sanchez would be fun. Is
Exactly.
both of their chins have given up a little bit. These guys slugged it out 3 rounds.
See,
You might actually see a finish.
I don't know.
In the
You
rematch.
see, Diego, his heart will always be there. That guy is a monster, but his body, it's like Chris Lieben. I think he's worn it out too much. If he fought Guida now, I think Guida would just
You think just wrestle him for
Guida-
3 rounds? Because it's
Yeah.
not going to main event.
no,
No.
of course not.
No.
But he'd probably take the not easy win, but he would definitely take it.
Rambo dropped some facts in the chat. Says, fun fact about Clay: when he's not fighting, he fishes in fishing tournaments in Florida.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know
No,
that.
Guida-
I was not aware.
Look, he's always been an outdoorsman. I mean, look at him. He's got a hair down to his ass crack. Not really. Not really. No, he's always had that freaking hair though. I'm jealous. I
Okay.
mean, bro,
Anything else on the prelims you want to highlight? We already talked about Pettis, and we talked about your boy Darren Wynn. We talked about the flying triangle of Jimmy Flick. See, I didn't see any of these fights, so I don't know what to talk about with them.
Well, that's basically it. You know, the prelims were very much worth watching. They were great prelims. That's why I always watch them. You see, I've seen the same thing. I once watched Max Holloway.
So
these people.
Let's kick it off then. Let's kick it off with Marcin Tybura versus Greg Hardy. Personally speaking, Greg Hardy, not the most likable guy. He's one of the MMA's like ex NFL guys, big time athlete, not really a fighter, but he's picking up the fight game because he can't cut it in the NFL anymore. We've seen a couple of these guys.
He's a big guy, man.
Yeah, you know? He's a big boy. He has to cut weight to make the max 265, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, exactly. Yeah.
Marcin, what's your opinion? We talked about Marcin Tybura a little bit last week when we were previewing.
We did.
This week's.
He is, he's more of a kickboxer type style, but he is a true MMA fighter. Yeah. You see, when his striking doesn't really go the way he wants, he will put you up against the cage. He will grind against you. He'll take you down. He's a true MMA fighter, and that's why I had high hopes with him against Hardy, because Tybura, he blasted off in the UFC with a huge left high kick. He got that switch head kick, put the guy out clean, and then all of a sudden he's fighting Fabricio Verdum and people like that. Yeah. So when you go early on in UFC, you get a highlight KO like that, and obviously you launched against these big name guys, you're gonna take your losses.
Yeah. They want to see if you're the next big. We just saw that shit with light heavyweight. What's his name? He got TKO by Curtis Blades.
Oh man. Shit. No, you're right.
Not Jack Daniels. He has a name that's like an alcohol. I can't remember.
You talking about the Russian guy?
No. The dude who was knocking everybody out. He dislocated his shoulder doing the worm in a celebration.
Oh man. No, yeah. Johnny Walker.
Johnny Walker. Yeah, there we go.
It wasn't Curtis Blades. It was he's actually fighting in Bellator right now. He was Izzy knocked him out. Israel Adesanya.
Knocked out. Who knocked him out?
Yeah, Corey Anderson.
Corey Anderson, thank you.
Corey Anderson. Yeah, knocked him out. Yeah, exactly. No, you're right about that.
So that's what happens with Greg Hardy here. So Greg Hardy gets a lot of flack because he has a public domestic violence charge on him. So a lot of people already cheer to beat this guy up. Not to mention coming in from the NFL, a lot of hardcore MMA guys don't like. We aren't really keen to people who are just doing this for the money. We like our fighters to be lifelong fighters, passionate fighters, real fighters.
Dana White too, man.
Yeah,
that's Dana White too. Yeah. Dana White likes bringing in those freak show fighters.
Well, because he needs to make money. They make money. Exactly. You know what I mean? Exactly. They make money. But Greg Hardy, I'll give him this. He's hanging in the UFC, the premier MMA league. He's racking up wins. He's not only is he giant for the league, he's also really fast.
He is fast for a heavyweight. I'll give him that. To be in the NFL, all person, what he is aside, to be in the NFL, you have to be an athlete.
Yeah. So I liked what I think it was. Who did we have on commentary? Because it wasn't obviously the pay-per-view crew. I think it was Bisping. It was Bisping who highlighted this, that you can be picking up these things along the way. Like Hardy striking looks scary. Like I'm not gonna lie.
Exactly.
I wouldn't want to have a boxing match with this dude. But he does. Bisping goes on to say that wrestling is a very slow burn to pick that up. And so after the first round, where Hardy was absolutely picking apart Tybura and honestly pissing me off, because I'm cheering for Tybura. Tybura literally he takes him down round 2, just takes him down, and Hardy looked like a fish out of water. Had no idea what to do.
Yeah.
They even picked it up on commentary. Like, all he had to do was slide his knee over, push on the belly a little bit. He could have got out of the position. But the second he was on his back, he's gasping for air. Tybura was able to put him away with some pretty, let's say, non-threatening strikes on the ground. It was more or less stopped because
it wasn't a violent finish.
No. It was more or less stopped because Greg Hardy had just stopped moving, and not like he got knocked out. He just was done trying to get out of the position. And that's the thing in MMA. If you're not attempting to get out of a position while somebody is punching you, if you're just sitting there, even if they're not like clean and clocking you in the head, if you're just sitting there willing to let some guy punch your arm while you're covering up,
you can't just sit there forever.
No, they're going to call the fight. And that's exactly what happened. His wrestling looked garbage. This I promise you, Greg Hardy from now on, if Dana White tries to save him, he'll put him against pitiful wrestlers. But anybody with any wrestling skill at this point, he's exposed. Like, this could be the end of Greg Hardy by how bad that looked.
That is a good point. That if you really Hardy's next few fights, if you see him fight in the, sorry, my dog's actually sleeping. He's yelling. Rex, hey, it's okay, buddy. Sorry, he does that sometimes. Hardy, if you really see his next matches, let me get back on track. If you see him fighting just basically like amateur strikers and stuff like that, that's how you're going to know that Dana's kind of baby. You know what I mean? Because it kind of seems that way up until this point. You know, he did fight Alexander Volkov. That's a big fight. You know, so he did try to put him up there against a non-really like a big name wrestler. But if they keep putting him against, you know, like not really big wrestlers, that's how you're going to know they really want to put him on top. But I don't see Hardy going past, you know, mid-tier level. I mean, Marcin Tybura, let's be honest, he's
completely exposed at this point. Like, completely exposed.
Tybura is not really a top shelf fighter nor a wrestler. You know what I mean? So
Rambo in the chat says, I got a question. I've been looking for this fighter I used to follow. I can't think of his name to save my life, but I do know his ring name. They call him the Irish Hand Grenade. Do either of you know who I'm talking about?
Well, of course I know who you're talking about, man. I mean, I hate it, man, because this guy lived and fought at a Bangor, Maine.
Yep, my hometown.
Marcus Davis, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I lived here, and then I moved to North Carolina, and then became obsessed with MMA. And I was like, you're telling me, because I remember watching, what was it, UFC 60, I think it was 68, Nations Collide. He fought Paul Kelly, an Englishman. I remember we all watched it at a place in Lillington. We're all huge fans of him. And I remember, I'll never forget this fight or this time. He goes to say, you know, you'll never forget where you are. Gets head kicked early in the first round. You know, comes back to submit him with an armbar off his back. You know, and I remember all of us just chilling. And, I mean, we were losing it. Marcus Davis, always going to be one of my favorite fighters, man.
Yeah.
And the guy freaking trained about like 20 miles from where I live. Not even that.
No, Marcus Davis was the shit. It was painful to watch his decline. He was one of those, because he was mainly a boxer. So
yeah, exactly. He wasn't.
When you go on the decline, you either get wrestled or you get knocked out. Unfortunately, Davis just got knocked out left and right. His chin went. He got knocked out all the time, man. I love Marcus Davis, though, man.
He didn't get knocked out all the time, but when he fought Dan Hardy, literally for the #1 contender fight, and Dan knocked him down a couple times, and that was, you know, I mean, honestly, Marcus had the fight. I mean, he had the takedowns, the ground control. I still feel like he won the fight, but that was really towards the end. And then Jeremy Stephens. I mean, just
Jeremy Stephens is a fucking savage, man. Jeremy Stephens will fuck you up, man.
Hammers, dude. And Marcus was dominating the fight. I mean, he was picking them apart. It was a picture-perfect fight for Marcus.
Yeah.
And just Jeremy, just literally with just a haymaker. Because Marcus is a southpaw. You
Yeah.
know, his family's Orthodox, man. So just one of the times where fucking Marcus leaves when he shouldn't, you know, I mean, right into it. And that was the first time that Marcus, even in his boxing career, had ever been put out cold like that. And that was really the beginning of the
It's
end.
rough. It was a rough one. Let's go back. Let's go back to fight night. Marlon Moraes taking on Rob Font. Marlon Moraes, notable, he beat Jose
Rob Font,
Aldo
New
in a
England,
controversial
Boston,
decision.
Boston, Massachusetts. Rob Font, he's from New England.
Yeah. The New England Mafia is what they're dubbing him. Part of the New England Mafia.
Oh yeah. So I was already going into this fight.
Hell yeah. Really so who am I thinking of? Marlon didn't win an interim title, did he?
No, he fought Henry Cejudo for the title.
For the title.
Yeah, and he actually clipped Cejudo. Cejudo being the monster he is, just coming off the Demetrius Johnson, one of the greatest fighters of all times. The victory.
That was the fight that Cejudo retired in.
No. He retired when he fought Marlon. Because
no, that's what I meant.
Yeah,
his fight with Marlon Moraes is the one he retired in.
Yeah, he fought DC coming off that big fight. Marlon actually cracked him with his, signature left high kick. This guy's lead kicks, his lead left kick, whether it's to the body or the head, it's fast, it's nasty. So he actually caught him. He was doing great in the first round, but Cejudo, man, that's an Olympic wrestler. You know, if you don't take that guy out early,
yeah,
it's five.
That dude does not have quit in him.
So exactly. Yeah, so it was a great fight, but he took Marlon, I think, to the third, and just a great comeback win.
Yeah. Who knocked out Marlon though in his previous fight?
Marlon knocked out.
Marlon's coming in off of a knockout to his fight against Rob Font. I got it here. I'll find out.
Yeah. Look that up. I actually can't.
Sandhagen knocked him out.
That's probably why I can't remember.
October 10th. Knocked him out round 2 a minute in.
Sam Hagen?
Sandhagen. Here. I think I have the replay. Oh, this says the replay on Fight Pass. No, I'm not going to watch that. Anyways, so yeah.
No,
Sandhagen was...
Sure I did watch it. I can't remember right now.
So no. Sandhagen was brought in to essentially... Sandhagen is on a surge, on the rise up.
Yeah,
but no one expected him to take out Marlon. It was one of those fights where it was like,
I've seen countless fights like that before. It's like you kind of almost like feed the sheep to the wolf, and all of a sudden the sheep
like what we said with
okay, that wasn't
like what we said with what's his name? We just got done talking about Tybura. Going against Fabricio Verdun.
Yeah, exactly. It's probably the same situation.
So it was the same situation, but Sandhagen rose to the occasion and knocked out Marlon Moraes. So Marlon's coming in off of a knockout loss. He's taken on Rob Font. If you want to know where they stand in the division, Moraes, third in the division. Only 2 people ahead of him before champ. Rob Font, 11th in the decision. Or in the division.
That's fight.
Yeah.
For Rob.
Big fight. Rob's also coming off of a year-long layover from a torn ACL, right? Rob comes in, though. 2 things I noticed. For one, he is still referred to as one of the best boxers in the division. And 2, he said, I had to learn how to fight on just my right leg. So watch my movement because I'm going to surprise him. And that's exactly what happened in round 2. I've got from here, once again, UFC's official Twitter. So I don't imagine they mind the footage.
Yeah, I don't think.
I don't think they do. So I'll go ahead and pull it up here. But this is some fantastic boxing, you guys. Like, honestly, take a look at this. Here it is, Kurt. You'll catch it here in a couple. Being a fellow New Englander, no, I mean, of course. Like, dude, go get you a payday, bro. Go get you a payday. Cheers, Rob Font.
It's like watching Joe Lozon, man.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, if you're toasting, I'll toast. I got you. It's like watching Joe Lozon. I mean, can you remember his last fight? Honestly, I can't remember the last guy's his name, but it was when he had him kind of in like that bully position on the ground, and it was in Boston, first round finish. I mean, great fight to watch. So it's watching.
Talking about Lozon or Fonts?
Lozon.
No, I can't remember Lozon's last fight.
Oh man, it was great. It was great. Like you said, watching any fellow New Englander fight.
Yeah.
because I mean Dana loves him too. You know, when he
Oh
puts on
yeah,
those.
well Dana's a
Cards,
big New England Patriots fan.
oh, and he's from Maine, I think.
Dana
Yeah,
White?
yeah. Oh yeah,
No, he's
dude. He
not
has a
from
house.
Maine.
He has a house here, man.
Well, having a house and being from there are two different things.
I think though he is from Maine. I'm seriously.
Herman High School?
Mm-hmm.
Herman,
Yeah,
Maine.
Herman.
No shit.
Yeah, Herman.
Holy shit. Dana White's
Yep.
from fucking Maine.
Yep. No, so he loves his Boston, man. When he puts on those Boston cards.
Katie says he's from Connecticut. Well, he went to Herman High.
I really thought he was from Maine.
I mean, he went to high school in Maine. That's part of your youth.
I mean, yeah.
He was born in Connecticut.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, well, at least he's still from New England. All right.
Yeah, born in Connecticut. Graduated from Herman High School in Maine.
Yeah. See,
so at some point, he lived in Maine.
Yeah, that's probably. That's probably why I thought he.
It makes sense.
From,
it all comes together.
I remember seeing that. It all comes together.
It all comes together, man.
Anyway.
Hey, Kurt.
So have you? Yes.
Why did the jizz cross the road?
Why?
Because I put on the wrong socks today.
Oh, that's gross.
That's disgusting. I'm sorry, man. I'm not proud of that one. It popped up on my mentions over here.
You should. What is that? It sounds like something. What's his name? Kevin would say. Your buddy Kevin. I don't know if you see it.
No, I don't know why, but it was.
I feel like he said that in the chat. And he was like just pestering you to say it. Like, Kyle, say it.
Say it.
Oh, fine, say it. Jesus Christ. Anyway,
I'm sorry. I'm not proud of that joke. I'm really not proud of that one.
We have 3 more fights, so we got to talk about.
There goes any female viewers we have.
I know, right? I am. Yeah.
Which, by the way, if you're a female viewer watching an MMA show, you're badass, honestly.
Hey, Chris Collinsworth just got called out for that. He was forced to apologize.
I'm sorry. Let me just make my public apology now. Men and women can equally like the same sports.
No, he did. Chris Collinsworth, doing the whole thing, the slide and shit, how he does. And then he's talking about football, and he's like, I am just so blown away by all these female blah blah blah. Their knowledge of the game is just the best, blah blah. Yeah. And then Twitter just blew up, like,
What are you saying? Women can't be into sports.
And
shut the fuck up. You know what we mean. It's for every 27 male fans, there might be one female. Okay, give it a fucking break. All right.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, from my my experience, every time I go to watch football and have a female, she's like,
By the way, our cousin Tony also went to Herman High.
Nice.
There you go.
Nice. They probably have a giant plaque of Dana White. Oh, of course.
I don't know.
But look,
in a little bit, baby.
Dude, I gotta talk about at least Jose Aldo. I was gonna talk about this guy named Michel Pereira Lima. The guy last week I told you his first fight he was doing backflips and shit in the octagon because he's that good. But he lost embarrassingly. He fought this guy named Chaos Williams, man, and his name is literally Chaos. I mean, I don't know if that's like Kimbo, but that's how he fights, man. This guy is like another Vanderlei Silva.
Hey, once again, I'll be right back. You go ahead and talk about these guys. I'll be back in just a second.
All right.
I'll be right back, man.
I got you.
I'm not going anywhere. Don't worry.
Look, well, that's now you're confusing me because you just told me you were.
I am going somewhere, just not too far. I'm not gonna fall. I'm not gonna fall asleep while you're streaming, like what happened to one of my other co-hosts. But I'll be right back.
All right. Anyway, all right, guys. So this is an MMA podcast. I mean, I may have been drinking whiskey, but that's the perfect time to talk about Jose Aldo and Stephen Thompson. I mean, seriously, guys. I mean, especially Tommy. Jose Aldo. I mean, this guy is a fucking legend. I mean, there's an organization way back in the day. It was called WEC. I mean, before the UFC bought it, like they bought Pride and all that, Jose Aldo was the absolute fucking man of that division. And so when the UFC bought the WEC, Jose Aldo came in, the very first featherweight champion of the division, and defended it for years and years. And then we all know Conor McGregor came along, talked a bunch of shit, knocked him out with one punch. It was sad. All right. So here's him now. You know, he's been off and on, off and on. Max Holloway, man, couple hard fights. It's looking like the end of Jose Aldo. So, but I'm a huge fan of this guy. He fought this guy, Chito Marlon Vera. He's, I mean, the guy's a savage in his own right. But Jose Aldo looked like the Jose Aldo of old. I mean, this guy throws hammers every second of the fight. You know, in some of the body shots that he throws. I mean, he throws like Vanderlei Silva throws hooks. He throws them to the body, follows it with a kick to the leg. I mean, this Jose Aldo, he looked honestly prime on last Saturday night for 2 rounds. And honestly, Vera had nothing for him in the striking. I mean, you know, he got him in. I may be a little biased. I don't know. I'm a big fan. But Aldo was just, you know, he looked like the Aldo of old. And then the 3rd round, because Aldo is known to gas, you know, into the later rounds. And just like prime Aldo always did, took him down. And I think this guy had the back body triangle lock. You know, he's got his back. He's got the body triangle in. He literally rode this guy for a backpack for what, 4 minutes and 45 seconds straight. And I mean, I was glad to watch it. It was an amazing performance by Aldo, in my opinion. You know, is he gonna win another title?
I don't know. Dark again. What the fuck?
You are dark. But is he gonna win another title? I don't know. He just fought. What was it, Marlon Moraes? People say he won that fight. So Peter Yan, actually. No.
Peter Yan is the one who got the interim belt.
Yeah.
That's who I was thinking of.
He fought Marlon. He lost the fight, but everybody thought he won. So then he fought Peter. I mean, it was a tough fight. Peter did catch him. So I don't think Jose is ever going to get the championship fight again.
You don't think Jose's going to get to the belt?
Nah, he just fought Peter Yan for the belt, man. You know, he got TKO'd. It was bad. And he fought Max Holloway. You know, got beat by him twice.
But he's in a different weight class now, right?
Nothing Peter Yan. No. He fought Peter Yan for the interim title and lost. This is his I think this is his fight off of that fight. So what it really is just seeing a guy like Jose come as far as he has. It was really good to see him have
those
good
body strikes were fucking awesome, dude. I love his left hook to the body.
I mean, dude, the left hooks. I mean, it was good to see him go back to his leg kicks too.
Yeah,
you know, the past few fights, Jose. I mean,
dude, you almost sound depressed talking about Jose Aldo, man. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like you sound sad, man. Like, well, I mean, he's not done. He beat Marlon Vera, man. He beat number 15.
Well, what I'm saying is like
it was quite competitive, though. I will say that
it was. But I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm biased. Every time Jose landed a clean shot, I'm sitting there like, oh, like let's go, Jose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm a little biased because I grew up watching this guy. I remember seeing him double flying knee Cub Swanson when I was 14 years old.
I was thinking about that during the fight too. I'm like, man, he doesn't really do much explosive fancy strikes anymore.
That's because he's always been the same type of style. But I mean, even as a smaller fighter, you get older, like you said before, you get slower. But Jose Aldo, I mean, he's Jesus Christ. You see him throw a combination nowadays, you know, it's still nasty. But it's just not I don't know. I don't think, you know, I don't know what it is, man. It was nice to see him get a win. But I don't see him in the title picture anymore. And hopefully, you know, I think he'll fight probably 2 more times.
Yeah.
3 probably 2. I don't think 3. 2 at the max. And
he'll fight till he either loses and knows he's out of like the title picture, or he'll fight his way to the title picture again. And once that's done, that's done. But the fact that this man has done it all,
he's a legend.
Suffered a decline that would retire most fighters, and is still picking himself up from the fucking bootstraps and ready to go make another title run. Because that's his goal. That's his goal, man. He still wants the belt.
I mean,
it's something to admire.
Yeah.
And you don't see Anderson Silva saying he's trying to make a title run. Anderson's just like, I'm just here for a paycheck, have a couple fun fights, give out a lot of fucking uncomfortable hugs. I'm tired I'm tired of that, by the way. I'm tired of these long fucking overdrawn bows. And like, we get that you respect each other, but take your fucking victory, man. Anderson Silva wasn't doing that when he was beating guys on the way out. Anderson Silva was a hungry fucking lion ready to kill to get what was his. He's not sitting there crying, dude. I get the show of respect, but honestly, it's too much. I feel like this is where I kick in and I'm with the Diaz brothers.
I feel like you were personally victimized by somebody respecting another fighter. It's like, no, he doesn't deserve it.
No, it's just I'm just sick of that shit. Like sitting there, like, I mean, I get you trying to show respect. I get it, man. I get it, but like, fucking, I'm into like the pro wrestling shit, man. Put yourself over, like fucking, put yourself over, man.
Well, unless you're, Conor McGregor or Charles Oliveira, you breathe, you sweat, and you bleed MMA. So does the other guy. At the end of the day, it's a sport. You got to respect each other. I mean, you can be the guy that's, like Marlon Vera. I mean, I've seen
fuck that, man. Show respect behind the scenes, but on camera, be the heel. I'm all about some heels, man.
Nice. I mean,
unless you're Conor McGregor in the middle of getting beat down by Habib, and he was like, it was just for the money, man. It's like, it was just for the show while he's getting beat down.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know.
No, it's just me.
I try to say the same shit against Khabib.
No, I know.
It's not like he just knocks you out. Khabib just mauls you.
Yeah. Let's talk about this main event. Stephen Thompson, Wonderboy Thompson. Taking on Jeff Neal.
Kind of ironic because one of the most, completely respectable and the nicest fighter you will ever see. That will just.
Dude, he won't even cuss. He won't even cuss on TV, man.
Yeah, it's like Russell Wilson.
You go out there, your job is to knock each other out.
Hey, man, all right, hey, have a good fight. Best of luck to you. And then he slaps you in the face with his foot 1,000 times.
He's trying to send you to the ER, man. He's trying to send you to the ER, but this dude won't say a bad word.
I mean, it's like I remember watching Sage Northcutt, man. One of the nicest kids out there, man. This guy, it's crazy because he's such a talented fighter, man. I talked about it last week. I can't talk enough about this guy's credentials. I love kickboxing. This guy, what was it, 57-0 in kickboxing, 30, 40 something knockouts.
Are you talking about Stephen Thompson?
Stephen Thompson.
Okay, yeah. This guy's
an amazing striker, man. I love his style. I love the way, his kickboxing, type karate type style, man. I was saying before, like Neal had nothing for it.
Didn't you want me to pull up a highlight of Thompson's to give people an idea of what this dude brings to the table?
I remember watching Stephen Thompson's debut. I forget, it was a while ago, but it was a guy named God, I told you his name earlier. I can't believe I can't remember. It was the head kick knockout. It was the 1-2 lead head kick where hold on, I know the guy's name.
I can pull up his record really quick.
No, not Stidham. No, Stidgen. Dan Stidgen. Dan Stidgen. The guy had. It was like I said. It was Thompson's debut. They knew the level of kickboxer that Thompson was already at because he was already at that level when he came to the UFC. He came into the UFC a little later on in his career, but that's just because of how special he was as a kickboxer. Dan Stidgen. This guy had absolutely no business being in a ring against Stephen Thompson. This guy had probably amateur level Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and wrestling at best, and gas station striking. Like the guy, his striking was just non-existent. Please, can you pull up that just 1-2 lead high kick?
Yeah, I got it right here. I got it courtesy of MMAfury.com. Here it is for you guys. It's just so it's a thing of beauty.
He throws the faint 1-2 just puts that right leg right over his shoulder and just smacks him with the kick.
I don't know what's more impressive though, this kick or the
What,
flip celebration, man.
I mean, dude, that the wonder flip. Oh, come on, yeah, that's no, just one of my favorite knockouts.
Good night, man. Good night. They call it the question mark kick because you bring the leg up straight and then halfway through it loops in a curve and it goes over the guy's shoulder right there. So it has a weird angle. It's not a straight line like A-B trajectory. The way you throw this, and it's very deceptive. But yeah, right behind the guy's ear, and just good night.
Just where he placed it. I mean, it was perfect.
Oh man,
just
so gorgeous.
The level of striking that Stephen Thompson brings to the table every fight, even now in his later age, man. I mean, he doesn't have the power really, like the Tyron Woodley power,
right?
And he doesn't have that, but man, his accuracy, and just his style, the way he throws, it's going to be a nightmare for anybody nowadays.
At his age too, he's still doing it, man.
That's what I'm saying, man. He's older, but he's still. And I was worried about it, man, because when Anthony Pettis knocked him out, I mean, the first time Thompson's ever been knocked out in his fight
with Anthony Pettis.
Yeah, when Anthony Pettis put him out, that's the first time Thompson was ever knocked out, and I've seen so many fights that happen before.
Did you watch the stream, or the highlight from the stream, because Stephen Thompson, he went back and on air streamed himself reacting to getting knocked out by Anthony Pettis. Yeah, and he was like, "This is the first time I've watched it since it happened."
Yeah,
and dude, talk about a sport. He laughs the whole way through it.
Oh, I remember seeing him when he finally woke up and Anthony Pettis went up to him. I remember seeing Thompson was sitting on the stool and he looked it up like you got knocked out in a video game. He was like, "Dude, what?" It's like, what? You knocked me out like never before. 60, 70 fights of any type of rules. And what I was trying to get at is like, I've seen that happen to fighters before. I saw it happen to Chuck. I saw it happen to Lyoto. These fighters, once they get fucking cleaned once, they're never the same.
Right.
Seeing Stephen Thompson still perform at that level and quickness.
This is his first fight back since Pettis, right?
No, he had he fought this other guy. I think he was this like Australian guy. I can't forget his name.
Vicente Luque. Never mind. Yeah, he won a decision.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I got you.
Australian. But yeah, so this is because they're UFC. I'm telling you, man, they don't really like Thompson because he's not one of those like he's basically like like a Damian Maia. He'll take him down, grind him out to a decision. It's like
he's a point fighter. He doesn't really, even though we just show the highlight knockout, he doesn't put him away all the time.
Exactly. In the UFC, it's they're kind of doing him dirty, man. I think he would do well against Usman. I don't know if Usman could dominate him like he has other fighters.
He's got good wrestling, man. He's got good wrestling.
He does. So I feel like Thompson, maybe give him a top 5.
Yeah.
He beats him like he beat Neil. Give the guy another title shot, man. The guy has the talent. The guy has the talent. And unbiased. I mean, I'm on a roll, man. I can talk about Aldo and Thompson all day. Maybe not Aldo getting the title. Right? I mean, Aldo had the title. But Thompson, he's never got it. It's like Dan Henderson. Fucking give him another chance.
I got you. No, I'm right there with you, man. I feel like this is a good point, though. We're done covering the event, so I think what we'll do is we'll stop the official recording of the show. Yeah, I mean, we can stick around for a little bit afterwards, though, right? Mingle with the audience, talk about bullshit. Want to thank you guys for tuning in. Granted, it was not like the 2.5 hour show we put on last week where we were absolutely wasted by the end of it. My God. Make sure that if you're watching on Twitch right now, there's a notification button. Go go ahead, hit that notification button. If you're not watching on Twitch and you're watching after I upload this, because we're going to make a YouTube channel soon. We'll be on YouTube. Make sure you head over to twitch.tv/The Kai Tai Show and hit that notification button so you're notified whenever we go live. And yeah, man. Yeah, it's once again, like, sincerely, thank you, right?
Everybody, thank you so much. Like, no, I mean, it's awesome, guys. You know, knowing everyone's here and just sitting here and bullshitting, you know. It's a lot of fun.
It's a fun time. Kurt's such a baby face.
Oh, yeah,
man.
Yeah, I am. Well, seeing you take a shot, I want to take another shot. But
yeah, go ahead. We'll take a shot. We'll take it on the way out.
I'll take it enough.
All right. So, my always favorite cutoff is until next time. Y'all have a good one.
Later, guys.